up. A lot of parts to clean up. You can't even see them all right now, and I'm on wide angle. But I've got the sunroof over there that we need to clean up. We've got all the weather stripping for the doors we need to clean up. I still haven't found the daggum door checks. I don't know where they're at. We got to clean up the dash assembly so we can start putting that back together. But at least it's clean, and now that it's clean, we can start really working on trying to get some things put back together. Specifically, the next step we need to work on is all the wiring. We need to get it all cleaned up, get anything that's damaged resolved and fixed, repaired, whatever. Then we can work on putting all the trim panels in and all that kind of stuff. But what I really want to do right now, besides the wiring, is I want to start working on getting the thing waterproof again, so that way I can pull it out if I need to. That would mean getting a steamer so we can steam the tent off the glass, getting safe light out to put a windshield in, getting the back window put back in, getting the quarter glass put back in, getting the sunroof back in, and then getting the dash assembly refurbished or go find one at a junkyard so we can put that back in and what that whole, get the cowl back in with the wiper motor and all that good stuff. I just can't figure out for the life of me why I can't find the daggone door checks though. Where the heck are they? First things first, let's get this plate off. This is the plate where the DVD player was hanging from the roof. And as you can see, they mounted it directly to this thing, and there are drywall screws ×4. They go all the way through it and all the way into the sunshade. I don't know how they opened and closed this, because, I mean, how would they? I guess they just never used the sunroof. Once they put the DVD player in, basically rendered this thing unusable. Unusable. Sunroof would be completely unusable. That's pretty crazy. I don't know what they did. Dang. That's a bad noise. Man. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. But I can tell you, right now, not a good idea. Kind of looks like it just pulls out back. Hey, let's how you get that out. Take that out. Good Lord, it just cracks the center. Oh, you hear that? Oh, Lord. This thing, watch this. It just disintegrates into a million pieces. So once that kind of pulls out, but if you can see this, so I can take this this guy here. Can't really see it that well, but there's a little nub in there. And this kind of goes under it, under both ends. So that's what that is. Okay, so that's a T25 right here. I think it needs a new one of these, whatever this is. Ew, that's kind of gross. Well, let's just rip this off. Okay, this should just come out. Okay. That gear. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that came right on out. That's good. Good news there. Okay, we gotta figure out how to get this sunroof out. fully slides, that's good. Most of the time, there's a way to get to the screws that mount it to the slider assembly. Obviously, it's going to require some adjustment to put it back, but it is possible to remove the glass from the slider assembly. There's 4 little screws. They got blue Loctite on them. 4 little T25 screws. Basically what I'm going to do, just so I keep up with that specific hardware, I'm going to just pull this off now. Okay. I can clean this up separately, which is good because it's pretty much ridiculously nasty. This is pretty bad. So one of the worst, nastiest sunroofs I've ever seen itself. I found this, okay. I found this right here in the M class in the back. So what I wanted to look at was the sunroof motor here, and I looked on this side just now. And if you look real close, that is an Allen head wrench, and then the end of this one, let's see if they fit. It fits perfectly. Look at this. Let's see if I can turn this. Ooh. I don't know. Ooh. What did I do? I think I just broke it. It did. Wow. So when I put some torque on that little wrench, look, it broke this thing right in half. That's what happens if you use too much force trying to turn the sunroof with the tool it came with. That's what it does. Yeah. It spins freely if you push on it. So when you let go, it's right now it's engaged. There's no way to turn it. But if you push in on it, there's just a slight bit of a little spring-loaded load there. Then I can turn it freely. Huh. And then if I let the pressure off of it, it's engaged again. Pretty cool. Okay, so today we're looking at what the hell we're doing. Mustang Sal.
Try it! Try it!
I want to get this grill mounted so it looks good, but I was sitting here noticing that is not gray. I think either it's not gray or somebody painted it before and all the paint's flaking off. It looks like the gray is flaking off of this thing, but underneath it appears to be black. But then if I give it a little scratch here, so kind of scratch it a little bit, you can see it's kind of, where I've been scratching, it's that black, that kind of shiny black underneath. So I think the gray color is coming off of the grille, but it's okay. We can always paint this later because we've still got paint work to do on that guy, and you know, a bunch of fabrication and stuff and painting and whatnot. But at least it's camo. I believe I found the right screws for this, and I believe it's these little Phillips head screws right here. Now we can just set this puppy up here. Now that looks fantastic. Looking more like an M-Class again now. That looks fantastic right there. Heck yeah. All right, as you can see here, I have whittled the parts down a good bit from what it was in here, and that the reason why is because they're actually all out in the M-Class right now because they're clean. These parts that are left off in here are parts that I'm either waiting on something, A, or B, I've got to repair them, or C, they haven't been cleaned up yet. So yeah, so I've got to look at these parts. I've still got to finish this wiring harness right here. I've got to install these in the vehicle. I think I can go ahead and install it. Well, the brake pedal attaches to the brake booster assembly from the firewall, so it kind of sandwiches the firewall, and I haven't gotten the brake booster put back in yet. Okay, this is what I'm looking at for the dash. I mean, you've seen it whenever I was getting the interior out of this vehicle. It's pretty crusty. As you can see, the heater core right there is pretty crusty. Looks like some of the stuff worse. I mean, this right here is pretty nasty, falling apart. This has all come off, all of that stuff. The heater core, I accidentally bit this tube right here when I was getting it out. I don't know why, but I did. Airbag has a little bit of black mold on it, which I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's a problem or not. I don't know. It needs to come off of there. In Alabama, they will not sell these at the junkyard. You have to get on eBay or something and buy them. They'll sell you the whole entire dash assembly, but they won't sell you that airbag right there. They make you pull it out, which kind of sucks. Whether the foam tape is going off of this one right here, it's got some kind of a temperature or some kind of probe right here. Electrical connector. That right there is the expansion valve for the air conditioning. I know a lot of American-made cars, it's just like a little diaphragm that goes in the line, but this right here is the Mercedes orifice tube. So I don't know how that works. I don't know why that's so different, but you know, it's attached to the end of the evaporator. This is pretty crusty. This is pretty crusty. That bolt's pretty crusty right there. The blower motor works because I switched it on and the fan blew. It just didn't blow cold air. Is that, let's see, the drain I think is right here. But anyways, I guess we need to kind of break this thing down a little bit, get it off the frame, and if I'm going to keep the frame, I'm going to paint it. So I need to get all these things apart on it. Let's try to get some of this stuff apart and figure out what's good and figure out what's not. Okay, excuse the fan noises. It's pretty freaking warm out here. We got heat advisory crazies going on here lately, so it's, even though I got AC running, it's pretty hot in here. So I got Mr. Fan on medium there, and got my AC running up here, my little spot cooler, and it's still a little bit warm in here, especially with me working in here. But I was going to show you real quick. I was going to show you how this mounts to the frame after I got all those bolts out that I did to get the dash out, or trying to figure out how to get this dash assembly out. I went through just now and got these two pieces separated. So looking at the front, this is where the airbag down there, this is where it attaches. There's 4 10mm nuts. There is a 10mm bolt right here and a 10mm bolt right there. All right, I've gotten the AC unit pretty much just taken off. I just got the top part of the AC unit taken off. Pretty easy, just a bunch of Phillips screws. And this is what we found. This is what it looks like on the inside of your AC unit on your M-Class. So you have the evaporator right here. Unfortunately, this would be how you would have to replace it. There's a temperature probe that attaches to the front of the evaporator. You got 2 direction vanes. I'm not sure which ones these are for, but you got 2 of them here. This one is the one to open and close to allow air to go down to the feet right there into the back console. Got the drain pan down here that drains out of the tube here. So yeah, pretty simple deal here. That's a little keeper for this guy here. I'm sure this just lifts out now. Yep. So it's kind of a little bit dirty, but she looks good. Looks really good, actually. Good and clean on this end. You can see there's some clogged stuff going on here in the drain. It's insulation. Oh, there's a piece of styrofoam down here. I guess that's additional insulation. I'm not sure, but it's pretty brittle. Looks like something that could clog that drain up. So we're going to remove that, and that's not going back in because it's just so it would definitely clog it up. So yeah. So there's the little drain, little tiny little hole, and all this trash right here would definitely clog that little drain up. So I think this is a good thing that we're going through it, pretty much. But these 2 guys look pretty much the same. So you can see that it's like coated in this foam material, which is, you know, obviously falling apart like an old headliner. Let's see if they're identical or not. Let's see if this one comes off. There's still a module on this one? No. Should just out of here. Okay. Are these identical? That's the question. Are these identical? Line them up here. These 2 are identical. Both of them. They're both identical. So we know these 2 vanes are identical. So that's a good thing. To know that those are interchangeable, basically. Then the last one right here, this one, I'm not sure how easy it is to get this one out. So by the time my phone went down, it popped out. So now, see, that's all you had to do was cooperate. So this might give you a better indicator of how this works. So you got 3 little holes right there that correspond to the 3 little clips right there. So basically what I do is I take my pick tool, push one of the tabs, stick a zip tie through the hole from this end, and it keeps that clip pushed back. See how it's got some flexibility there. So you push that back, push the zip tie on past the black plastic, and that's what holds it from being locked. And then you're able to kind of pry this out a little bit, and voila, you now have a hole, and now you can get this flap out. Just like so. Kind of reverse engineered what they did with this. You know, it's really, really, really crusty. As you can see, that right there is a lot of growth on there. Been wet a lot. Very, very crusty, musty in there. Alright, boys and girls, we got our test leads right here. We got a Milwaukee M12 12-volt battery and the blower motor for the M-Class Mercedes. I'm going to test this real quick, see what happens. It's actually pretty cool. Not sure you can see it there. Let's see if I get the glare right. There you go. Look right there. It tells you which side is positive and which side is negative. If you can't see it, I'll point to it. Right there is a positive. Right there is a negative. So this side is positive, that side's negative. Let's hook my little test leads up to this little battery, see what happens. So I'm gonna hook these test leads up first. Hook my positive side to the positive red lead here. Try to get it in there, hopefully, carefully. There we go. That'll work. And then this side is the negative side. Plug that side in. Definitely don't want to leave it like this because this is the part that's gonna blow. So you gotta turn it like that. And you gotta hold on to this. There's probably a lot of torque on this. So if you look on the Milwaukee batteries, it's kind of weird if I remember correctly. I think positive is on the right. If I remember correctly, I think it's negative and positive. Okay, so if you look on the end of the Milwaukee battery right there, you can see that the right one is a positive, the left one is a negative. So that's how you could test stuff in the junkyard and everywhere else. I've probably went over this before in one of my videos, but I always do the positive lead first, and then I kind of hold this. So like right there is the little test lead, but I'm just gonna go ahead and just plug this on in. There we go. See, that's pretty powerful on 12 volts, right? That's pretty crazy. That's crazy. That's how it works. Seems to be very consistent. Not a lot of vibration. Nice and smooth. This is what we want. This would be high speed. Not that quiet of a motor, I can tell you that. The fan design is not that quiet. I wish they would make these just a little quieter. I can feel the suction on it. Crazy. Feeling good. Nice fan. For the size, I bet it's more powerful than my daggum exhaust fan in this room that pulls paint out. It's like half the size. And it runs on 12 volts instead of 120. It's pretty crazy. don't know how long it'll run like this. Well, it seems like it got a little slower. It is blowing. It's blowing some air right there. Battery temperature's good. Not bad. Motor temperature is fine, nice and cool. I'd say it's a win there. I don't see anything wrong. At least with the blower motor, there's nothing wrong. There's a little cleaning, but other than that, I think she's good. I guess she sucks from the middle and blows out. And it's blowing uneven. So it just needs a good cleaning as far as I know. Kind of blowing air from underneath. Ooh. Get a little close to it. That's what it sounds like when you touch it. That sounds like a helicopter. I wonder if cleaning it will make it better. So close.